'Tis I. I have returned to the eternal Returnal. Hello. Give me a second. You know what? I'm not as put together as I thought I was. Um, but today we're gonna be playing more Returnal, and I know what you're probably thinking to yourself. Shadow, you did a poll in Discord, right? Saying that you were gonna play it off stream. How'd that go? Well, I didn't, and I'm sorry for that. It was not for a lack of desire. It was just I had so many other things going on that I did not have the chance. But it's fine. It's fine because this is not going to be my last time playing Returnal. I will be playing Returnal far more anyway, so there will be opportunity in the future. I'm tired. But yes, I am going to be a little bit rusty, and I apologize for that. It was not my intention. Just how the chips fell. And, I also forgot. Gotta turn lights on. But yeah, we're doing Returnal. I don't know what to really say. I'm still kind of stuck on Frike. I know I can do it. I got her down to her last health bar. I know I can do it. It's just gonna be tough. What? My PS5 just did a weird thing. It was like, oh, okay, I'll put it in rest mode. I was like, you were in rest mode, weren't you? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. This is gonna come off like a boomer. Oh, and I have to turn the volume down. This is gonna come off like a very boomer opinion, but I miss the days of games when you could swap discs without having to turn on the entire console. That's something that's bothered me since the Wii, PS3, Xbox 360 days. Where it's there are times I want to just eject a disc and put in another disc for when I'm ready, but I don't want to turn on the entire freaking console. I don't know if that's a sentiment many share, but it's how I feel. But yeah, I don't believe I was in the middle of a run this time, so at least we'll be starting with a fresh run. And what else is there? I don't know, honestly. Oh, I forgot to... Actually, you know what? I hope you guys won't mind, but I'm actually going to just take a minute to get water. I forgot to make a water for myself. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. I'm more on top of it. Really, Shadow? Yes. At least with water, because I've been coughing. And it's like, I like having water, so that way I can not die. And, I forgot it. So I'm sorry, but I'm back. We'll go to the live scene now, even. Hi. But yeah. Yeah, I'm happy to be playing this game again, but nervous that I'm gonna mess up a lot. Because I still have not fully gotten used to the game. And that's why I made the poll in my Discord, because I was like, maybe I just need, like, more continuous experience. Because sometimes it really does not do a game any favors to, like, take several days break from it, you know? But this game is a lot of fun. I like how it feels, and I like the way the environment is like set up. It's all very, very compelling to me. The only thing is that I'm bad at it. But I'm working on that. The other thing, too, is I don't quite have a feel for what really works yet. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'll encounter a lot of items and be like, why would that be good for me? And then I don't use them. And there probably is a benefit. Hey, Structor, it's good to see you. Hi, how are you? Sorry, I'm just kind of giving some thoughts because I was a fool and I forgot to come on, jump. I forgot to play this in my off time. Or not forgot, I just didn't get the opportunity. I'm still working on Frike. And that whole situation. Which, I don't know if I'm just bad, or if like, I'm supposed to struggle this much with Frike. I mean, I believe you said, I have to go soon, my Ooh, okay, well, I hope you have fun. Or, I mean, I hope you enjoy the food, rather. I mean, I guess you could have fun, too, but just... yeah. I'm not a big fan of Thai food, personally. But then again, that's also, like, sensory stuff, so... My experience, but it would be spoily. Okay. Well, yeah, don't spoil me. I'm just trying to get my thoughts out that, like... I feel like I'm going slower than many people. 'Cause that happens to me a lot in games. Like, I look at how long to beat. And it'll be like, oh, this game will only take you like 5 hours. And then I look at my playtime and it's like 10. But it is also at least partially, because I am stubborn and refuse to look at any sort of, like, guides or anything. Guides would help much with this game. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you really could give a guide for this game. You could give, like, tips. But I feel like at some point you just have to be like, look, you just gotta kill this thing. However, you know, however the chips fall. You could probably be like, hey, look for this power-up, or like, you know, it's if you encounter this type of room, it's a good idea to go in, but like, there probably isn't any sort of specific advice you could give. You ever? Yeah, of course. I've played Doom Eternal multiple times, actually. And mostly because Pixel was like, no, you played the Switch version. You didn't experience Doom Eternal the right way. And so he got it for me on PS4, which has the PS5 upgrade. I played it on PS5 on stream, and I still felt the same about it. So I apologize, Pixel. I've been hearing people complain that the new Doom is too slow. Which is an interesting idea. I don't know if it is or not. I honestly have not even looked at, like, gameplay or anything. But, I mean, you know, you say that, but I do have it on PC now, so, like, there is kind of an obligation to play it on PC. Okay, you can't destroy that. But, like, other than the cutscenes being, choppy, the Switch version was perfectly fine. Like, playing it at 60 FPS or whatever didn't really change my opinion. I tend to, agree with people where, it's like, I don't mind as much if a game is 30 or 60 FPS, I just mind if it's inconsistent. You know? Because at least, like, your brain can kind of get used to whatever frame rate. But if it's constantly jumping, then it's, like, it's hard to look at. Did you? I did. Yeah, I like gyro aim. I played 2016 with gyro aim because I had gotten 2016 on Switch. Because I was amazed 2016 worked on Switch at all. It's even more amazing to me that Returnal works as well as it does. Like, Returnal is one of those games I would point to be like, a game can work quite well on older hardware if you're willing to, like, give it the time necessary to. You know, if you have the right people and whatnot. Because there are people who will be like, oh, the Switch can't handle it, and it's like, I mean, it could, it just might require more work than, you know, than just porting. Or it is yeah. That's, you know, that's something I've been hearing a lot of people talk about lately, where it's like optimization basically just doesn't happen anymore. Like, a lot of modern games really just don't focus on optimization. They just kind of like, they're just kind of like, yeah, you'll download 100 gigabytes of data texture, or, you know, of texture data, and you'll like it. I know there was that whole thing with John Carmack and like mega textures or whatever, but I don't think this is that. I think this is just developers being like, why would we put the time in when we could just force people to have the space for our game? Kind of like Call of Duty. Like, Call of Duty knows that its fan base isn't really going to care if it has to use up 500 gigabytes because it's basically the only game they download, you know? Like, it blows my mind that Mario Tennis Aces is only, like, a couple gigabytes. Because to me, that game actually looks really good. And the fact that it's, like, so small is crazy to me. Returnal's combat to Doom Eternal. I don't know if I'd agree with that. Returnal definitely has better combat than I would have expected from a third-person, like, action shooter game. I don't know if I would say that it is comparable, though. And, like, Doom Eternal was good, don't get me wrong. I think my biggest issue with Doom Eternal was that it was more... It felt like it was more combat arenas than 2016 was. I felt like 2016 actually had a good amount of, like, exploration to it. Where I feel like Eternal didn't quite have that. Which is weird, because Eternal has mechanics that could have made exploration even more fun with the, like, swinging and, you know, dashing and all that, but yeah, just Eternal didn't scratch the itch the way 2016 did. I guess that's at least partially why I'm a little hesitant to pick up the Dark Ages. Like, I'm sure if it's good, I'll play it. I mean, I do want it, but just... I'm not as, devoted as some are, you know? Stay away. Stay away from me. I'm not interested in anything you're selling. It's just with Game Pass. Yeah, if you have Game Pass, it seems like a no-brainer to try. But, Game Pass just isn't worth it for me. And especially because I don't have a job. I don't have the kind of money to just spend on a subscription. It's like, it's gotten pretty expensive now. I know they constantly do deals where it's like, it's $1 for your first month or whatever, and it's like, I've already used my free trial, so I don't qualify for those anymore. I don't have Game Pass, but I might get it. Yeah. That's, to my understanding, what a lot of people do, but... to my understanding too, a lot of those deals are like only for new Game Pass subs, and it's like if you redeemed a trial previously, you don't qualify. And I used mine up because Discord was like, hey, we're giving away 3 months of PC Game Pass. And I was like, oh, cool. And I didn't realize that that would ruin my chance at other deals. So. And yeah, PC is expensive. Isn't Game Pass Ultimate, like, up in price now? Because if I remember, it used to be like $15 a month, and now it's like 20 or something. I'm gonna try this. But yeah, when I tried PC Game Pass, I played Power Wash Sim on it, and that was fun. I do like Power Wash Sim, but I really did not take full advantage of it. Because I feel like unless you are really playing a lot of video games, Game Pass doesn't end up being worth it. You know, like I could have bought for the like 3 months that I had Power Wash Sim, if I were spending it on Game Pass, it's like I could have just bought Power Wash Sim. 20 a month, but I'm not sure if that's yearly or month to month. Yeah, I don't remember if they even have deals on yearly anymore. I know the price has been going up because like they've been adding Activision stuff to it. Where it's like, oh, well, gotta increase the price because now we put Diablo 4 on it. But, I used to think Game Pass was a pretty good deal, but it feels like it's gotten worse over time, and I don't know how to explain it, because it kind of hasn't. I don't know. But yeah, like, can you imagine? It's like $240 a year to get access to games that are often, like, crazy cheap anyway. That's what gets me. Scott the Woz did a very good video on it where he was talking about, gaming deals, and it's like, unless you really are just constantly making use of it, it's often just cheaper to just, like, buy used versions of the game anyway, and then you have it forever. Because the example he used was Gotham Knights, where Gotham Knights was on Game Pass, and he was like, oh boy, I'm paying, you know, $15 a month for the privilege of playing Gotham Knights, which is like $5. Interesting comment. I wonder if more companies... Yeah, I mean, they're trying, but I don't know how successful it really can be. Like, Ubisoft Plus. I don't know anybody who would want to subscribe to that for more than, like, a month. Allows a key to be reused, attaches, triggers some... you know what, I'll try it. But it's tough because, like, it's kind of falling into the same, like, movie streaming issue where it's like, once you start getting too many subscription services, then it just starts to get too complicated and, expensive for people. I mean, I admit, we haven't quite reached that point yet with because, like, Netflix still exists, but like, part of the appeal of Netflix was that it was like you pay a subscription and get, like, so many movies from all sorts of places, and now it's just like, oh, you want to watch friends, like, you have to subscribe to Peacock or whatever, and it's like, at that point, we've just reverted to cable TV, where you pay for the channel that you want. I'll try it. Serves yeah, yeah. I think the other issue too is that I think people don't often do the calculation of what they're losing, because it's like okay, as a DVD, right? Like a DVD movie. Yeah, it is like annoying if you lose the DVD, or like, you know, it takes up space on a shelf. But like, there are still benefits where it's like you will always have it, no one can take it away, and you only have to pay for it once, and then you don't have to do it again. And it's like, I feel like people don't often think about it like that. I don't know. I mean, it is a very, like, case-by-case basis sort of situation. Like, I would use Game Pass more than, you know, an average person, but, like, if even I don't think it's worth it, you know, how many people is it worth it for? I don't know. Because you kind of have to make that calculation yourself. I imagine it would be really good for Xbox heads who, you know, just really use their Xbox all the time. But, like, again, I'm gonna bring up Scott the Woz a while, but, like, he, what's the word? He was doing, like, a gaming deals video, and he was talking about how, like, yeah, if you buy used versions of these games, you ultimately end up either, you know, paying the same, or, you know, even saving money, and you get to keep the games forever, or resell them, as opposed to, you know, just eventually losing access. Hearing the streaming is hard, since many people didn't buy movies and just rented DVDs. Of course, if you buy DVDs, new and then watch it just once, it seems like you're saving a crazy amount of... Yeah, yeah. But the other thing, too, is, like my family, as an example. We have certain movies that we love, and we love to rewatch from time to time. We were just discussing wanting to rewatch, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, because it's been a while. And it's like, I can't imagine what it's like if you go, like, remember that movie? I want to see that movie again. And then it's like, oh, it's not on any streaming service anymore. Oh, well, I guess I'm not watching that movie. Like, I don't want to give anyone else the power to determine whether or not I can watch something, you know? There are also used DVDs. Yeah, yeah. Or even on a more individual note. So, I love The Thief and the Cobbler. That is a movie that, like, I grew up with. I know the Miramax version is very negatively regarded, but I love it. And it's not on any streaming service. I believe you can, like, watch uploads of it on YouTube, and, like, they haven't bothered to take those down. But, like, I can't imagine what it's like if it's like, what if one day they just decided, like, hey, we're gonna just copyright claim every one of those uploads and, like, not put it on a streaming service. It's like, it would suck to lose something so meaningful just because, just because there hadn't been like physical versions of it, you know. Thankfully, they did make DVDs of it, so like, and I do own one now, so like, that's not a fear for me anymore. But just the concept of like, hey, nobody really cares enough about this movie that I care about. You know, it could just disappear into the ether. You know what? I might just challenge Frike. Because Frike's right there. Although, you know, maybe I should get rid of the malfunction first. I think maybe do one more room. Just to melee kill 2 enemies. And we were having this discussion last stream, too, about, like, how long something should be available or whatever. And in a world where, you know, there is no organization or like, government entity that's tasked with, you know, preserving all this stuff, it is up to us. So, I just think that, like... My dual sense is not low, you're lying! Oh god. Hold on 1 second. Let me just focus on the battle. Die! Just die! Jeez. Die. Just die. Lord. It's like, in that case, I think it falls on people, and like, if they care enough about a thing, they should be given the opportunity to save it. That was what I was trying to communicate. Dang it. I know I'm getting myself in more trouble by going into another room. But I need to challenge Frike with my health full. Okay. If I can just clear a room that has some health without getting hurt, that'll be great. Stay away. Thank you. I see someone over here. You. I feel like media companies kind of secretly, partially condone piracy for this reason. If you ever complain about preservation, people just pirate it. I mean, yeah, that... It's a complicated issue. Like, I've said before that I don't like piracy, but it's not as clear-cut as just, like, don't do it. Because, in the example of anime... There are a lot of people who say, like, the only reason anime is as big as it is now is because there have been so many sites that, like, pirate episodes so you don't have to buy 50 billion box sets to watch a whole series. Like, I was like, that, you know, that makes sense. And it's like, technically they're making more money than ever because of piracy in that sense. So it's like, it's not just as clear-cut as it's bad, don't do it, but it's a tough situation to pick apart, because it's like, how do you know what is and isn't helping? Definitely is a reason piracy exists, more than just people don't want to pay for it. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's the whole Gabe Newell quote where he was like, piracy is fundamentally a service issue. And I think that quote has stayed relevant for a good reason, because it's very true in a lot of ways. But I do think there is some element of, like, people, even if you do make it available, people are still gonna steal it anyway, you know? Because that's just how some people will do it, you know? Pirates as patriot. Yeah, well, so that's the thing. Like, I don't think of them as that either. You know? Alright, wish me luck. Here we go, Frike. Yeah, I know, Frike. This isn't my best run, but we can still do this. It's still within our grasp. Okay, phase 1. Still very jarring for me to hear all these noises coming out of the controller. Ah! I gotta remember the timing for that. Ah! Ah! The timing, it's so tough. It's so tough. Yeah, that's right. I was prepared. Oh god. Oh god. Okay, we got to the last phase. You know what? That's good. Fuck. That, it's so tough to react to that. It's so tough because it's like, it's so quick and the timing is so specific. It's kind of like shoplifters. I don't really care when Walmart loses a fight, but I know most shoplifters. Yeah. The thing is, I do place a distinction between, like, people who are stealing food to survive and people who are stealing, like, luxury just for the sake of it. Like, one of my... The first time I saw a shoplifter when I was working at Target was a guy who was just shoving CDs down his pants. And it's like... Yeah, thank you. I had been to the final phase before, but, at least I got to the final phase. The thing is, I know I need to just challenge Frike when I have a lot of health. Because once I learn the pattern, I think I can handle everything they throw at me. But it's like, you know, if I saw somebody stealing, like, bread to survive, that would be one thing. If I saw someone stealing, you know, CDs just because they didn't want to pay for them, that's the kind of shit that's like, get out of here. There was a tweet, I believe it was, before I left Twitter, where it was like, it was someone saying, I don't mind paying taxes when the people who are too poor to pay them can't pay them. That's fine. What I take issue with is when, you know, people who are rich don't want to pay taxes. That's when I have the issue. And I was like, that's a good way of putting it. The carbine is still my favorite weapon, but, I feel like I'm not very good with any of the weapons. They're all malignant. Carbine is best mine, yes. That really sucked. That was not worth it. Okay, melee kills and fabricate items. Something doesn't look right about that. Cool. Okay. What's it trying to communicate? I don't think I have any abilities yet. Looks like a power factory or something. I guess I'll figure it out later. Let's do the Reconstructor. Why not? We're rolling the sleeves down. We're gonna be gamers. We're gonna be the most oppressed group of all. Gamers. Have you returnaled yet? I've returned, and I am eternal, but I have not returnaled yet. Hi Sans, yes, it's good to see you. Hi, how are you? Sorry if I'm taking you away from Joker's stream. Don't worry, you don't have to stay long. You can tell Joker that I specifically told you to watch her. And also, Sans, well done on your first solder ever, which is crazy to me because I would have thought you'd do something more simple for your very first solder, but that's cool. I'm glad it worked out. It was easy when it came down to it. Yeah, honestly, soldering really is not that difficult. It's more about like soldering small things. That's the difficult part for me, because it's I have very unsteady hands, so like small stuff is just nightmare for me. Wasn't very good at soldering in school. In my defense, the parts were very small, and yeah. Soldering small stuff is my Achilles heel because my hand shakes so badly. The whole reason, so I have a Turbo Express, which for anyone who doesn't know was a competitor to the Game Boy back in the day, and it played TurboGrafx 16 game cards on the go. And they had notoriously bad capacitors, and I was like, well, I know how to solder. I can just replace all the capacitors myself. And so I did, and so I started to, and it requires you soldering off this like shield part and to access a few of the capacitors, and I did it, but my hand shook just enough that like a very tiny chip also got soldered off, and I was like, whoa, I can't fix something like that. And I really want to get it repaired, but I know it's going to be a costly repair, and it's like I really should set aside the funding to get it repaired, but I just always get distracted. The specific resistor was a 0201, which is 0.6 millimeters by 0.3. Yeah, that's too small for me. Hey, did you hear about the Xbox Mega? It kept going bad. Like in the original Xbox? Because if so, yes, the original Xboxes are ticking time bombs. I've been aware of that for quite some time. The reason, ironically enough, that I am aware of it was because I went to a garage sale, and a guy had an original Xbox, and it was in pristine shape. He said he had only used it like twice, and I was like, oh, perfect, okay. And then I bought it, and the capacitor had, it looked like it was burned. And when looking into how to repair it, the repair would have been more costly than just buying a whole new unit. So, but yeah, ever since then, I've read all sorts of people being like, man, these things are just ticking time bombs. They will die. R.I.P. Yeah, it was a disappointing day for me. Although, in retrospect, I wish I had at least kept the Xbox. Because I was like, I could have at least kept the shell or something, but At the time I was just like, it's a lost cause. I've had, I think 2 or 3 different occasions where I went to a garage sale and saw the Halo Xbox, like the original Xbox, the like translucent green Halo edition, and I want that console so badly, but each time I encountered it, it was just too expensive, and I was like, I want it, but I can't. I just can't. I didn't have the money, you know? I love that whatever malfunction I got inflicted was immediately solved by me picking up the resin that I got the malfunction for. That's great. Oh, okay. I should have thought more carefully about that. Could be worse. I feel like I don't encounter a lot of keys, though. Hey, am I fabricating an item? Does this count as fabricating an item? Yes, it does. Okay, good. You know, whenever Sans gets back, I should let Sans... I should ask Sans if he has the, Halo Xbox. This game could have made some of the terminology and jargon less confusing. Yeah, I agree. Some of it really does seem very, like... I don't know what the term would be, flowery. Just like... I don't know. Overly confusing. Have I mentioned how hard it is to see a game sometimes when there's a light that's like shining right in your eye? Because it is. No, I don't have a key. I would have had a key if it didn't destroy the key. No. Okay. Handled that pretty well. Okay. I think silphums get turned into resin when you enter a new room with full health, but really? I admit I don't fully understand what the difference between silphum and silphum resin is. Like, one increases your max health, but one just heals you, but, like, the one that increases your max health also heals you? I'm kind of confused about that. Resin increases max health stuff and just heals you. Okay. But picking up resin still heals you a little bit, right? That's what it seemed like every time I did pick up resin. Damn it. I got the exact same malfunction with the exact same conditions. Why? Not entirely sure how the healing works when you get a max health. I think it's determined by repair efficiency. I see. Okay. Well, you know what? This time I have a key, so I can at least open one of the containers. Internal damage. Pretty sure you can be a half health, get a max health, and get healed to full if you have good enough repair efficiency. See, that's what I thought, but I couldn't quite tell. Gotta find the next container ASAP. Welcome back, Sans. Now that you're back, I have a question for you. Do you have the Halo edition of the original Xbox? Because that edition has eluded me for so long, and I want it. I don't own any Xboxes. For shame. No, I'm just kidding. I figured you would at least own that version because it's translucent, and I know how much you love translucent things. Own 0 translucent consoles, only handhelds. I mean, not a matter of owning. I know you like them though. That's the thing. Because you always post translucent consoles and are like, oh god, it's so sexy. Yes, I like them. Yeah. Well, I was curious if you had that version of the Xbox. And you don't, so now I know. One day I will own that Xbox. Mark my words. If I get better at soldering, I'll buy broken consoles and fix them and mod them myself and get translucent shells for them. That'd be super cool. Honestly, you know what, Sans? I don't know how exactly it would work, but, do you think you'd be able to fix my, Turbo Express? So now that you've proven you can solder small things. Because my Turbo Express is not in good shape. Yeah, did you keep it? Yes, yeah. I know exactly where it is. It's all in bags. Like, I just, feel like a dumbass because my stupid shaky hand just went like, oh, with the tip and then soldered off a chip. Possibly then? Okay. Well, whenever you feel confident enough to. But also, I would need your help in, replacing all the capacitors. I know, right? How much internal damage can one person go through? Oh, okay. I see how that works now. Ah! Anyway, for the SMD caps and resistors in my adapter, I tinned one pad and then pushed the SMD component into it with tweezers, removed the iron to let the solder cool, then applied to that. Yeah, I would need help because, like, some of the capacitors are SMD, on my Turbo Express, so like I was struggling with those. I'm gonna die. I'm sorry, everyone. I can't even pick anything up because I'm gonna die. Can I? Okay. Sadness. I tried. Please tell me I at least picked up the level 4 gun. Okay. Recapping a console is going to be harder for me to do because you have to remove old caps through a whole capacitor. Yeah, it was difficult. Can confirm. Once I'm done with my adapters, I'll be recapping all my consoles or my PS2. Yeah, okay. Let me know how it goes. I accidentally broke my Game Boy Micro. It was not a soldering issue, but I was trying to get the ribbon cable for the screen back in the little slot, and it just would not go. And at one point, I think I just pried it in a weird way where the pins came up, and it's like, I don't know if I can fix this now. Rip. Yeah, it was upsetting. because like the R button wasn't working, so I was like, oh, I can just go and, you know, see what I can do there. Nope. I did a bottom screen replacement on a new 3DS XL. That was terrifying because of all... Oh, yeah. Ribbon cables are a nightmare for me. I wonder where it is. Many years ago, I had a friend whose dad was, like, disassembling a really old PC, and he was like, hey, if you want to keep some parts, like, you can just, you know, keep them, whatever. Because he was essentially just recycling the PC, and I kept the processor, because it was an AMD, or not AMD, it was like an Intel processor that, this thing was like, it was like a two-fisted process. It was crazy. It was huge. I assume it still works, but I've had no method of testing it. Across the USB-C mod for the new 3DS, and I was going to do it until I saw that you have to remove everything, just like, yeah. Oh, yeah. Understandable. Yeah, as it turns out, a lot of mods are a pain in the ass. I saw a video that was like the most insane video of a guy. He's kind of known for having a really, like, destructive style, but it was a video where he was like, I made an NES cartridge that can play NES games, and, like, I don't even know how to describe it, but just seeing him, like, yank up cables and shit was was wild. I forget who he is, but, like, if you ever check out that video, he actually has a famous, or, you know, somewhat famous video where he made a Super Nintendo that reads CDs, but, like, it's like the spindle thing of the CD, it just, like, goes into the SNES cartridge slot. It looks cursed as hell. But it's that guy. I wish... I've always wished I could do things like that. Ever since I was young, I wished I knew how to, like, modify things in that way. It was just always... It was always too much of a, like... It always required too much, like, minutia for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's always like, oh, you gotta remove this really thin cable and like... twist it this way, and it was tough for me. I used to read Ben Heck's blog 20 years ago. I wanted to do portable consoles, but nowadays the only portable console I think is really cool is the portable GameCube. That's fair. Personally, I kind of like portable, like, I've seen some portable SNES and, like, N64 conversions that are really cool. I would be... I mean, I have a ton of N64s, so part of my fantasy has always been to convert one of them to, like, a handheld. But... it's probably not gonna happen. Not worth it. Because I'm trying to keep my golden coil efficient. I did always like the idea of a portable Wii, because it could be a portable GameCube as well. Yeah, it got famous-ish by doing portable NES, NES, but then got real commission work to do accessible controller. Oh, that's cool. So, did he make, like, the, adaptive controller? I always liked that idea, the adaptive controller. I was like, why did it take so long for that to be a thing? I also saw a video of someone... You know those, like, bottle openers that have a speaker? And, like, when you open a bottle, it says something? Somebody made, like, a Half-Life version of that. And I was like, that's genius. I want that. They converted, I believe, like a Simpsons one into the Half-Life one. And it's great because when you open it, it's like, about that beer I owe you, Gordon. Or, you know, whatever. He did the one-hand access controllers for the 360. Oh! Well, that's super cool. I didn't know about that, but I have a newfound respect for that. Or for that person, I mean. You know what I mean. Oh, Shadow Dewey. Yeah. Okay, so no, I actually want to go through the other door. Have you seen, there was a oh gosh, what do you call it? A speedrunner person who beat Hades using pomegranates as controllers. Have you seen that? That's always sorry. That's always very funny to me. Like by the end they were like mush, but he did it. No, I've seen Dark Souls using shit like a DDR pad, Donkey Kong. Yeah, God, the Donkey Konga drums. How do you make that work? How do you even move? But I've seen, like, Dark Souls with a... What? Do not tell me something went wrong. Do not tell me this. Is my stream still live? I don't like that my computer made a noise. I should still be okay. That's like the noise my computer usually makes when like stream crashes. Okay, stream works. That's something. Usually I hear that and it'll pop up with a like, "Hey, your stream key is wrong." It's like, "No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Don't lie to me." It's tough, but I think I want to go with the carbine. Well, I'm scared for whatever made that noise, but at least it didn't interfere with stream, so for now I'll have to put it off to the side. And you have to pull a cord to say, yeah. Yeah. That reminds me of the Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller. I think the PS2 one was the one that had a pull cord, right? I don't remember now. I kind of want a chainsaw controller because they look so dumb. They look. I just have a thing for dumb controllers. Ah! Jump scare, jeez. I gotta see what it is. It has to be a health thing, please. It wasn't, but it's something that could help. Kinda annoying to melee those bats. It's weird because they're not on the ground level, so you can't just like slash. You have to kind of jump and then slash. But like they get so close to you, it's frustrating to shoot, you know? Where's the gun? Oh, okay. Nah. D&D time? Oh, have fun, Sans. You know, it's funny, despite how big of a nerd I am, I've never actually played D&D. My friends did try and get me into it at one point, because they were like, hey, let's do a D&D campaign, and I was like, okay, sure, and then they were like, okay, make a character. I was like, how do I do that? I know nothing about D&D, so like, telling me go make a character is like, is such a like, okay, I'm gonna make a tax accountant from Brazil. What what are the criteria? And so they like, then they showed me like a list of all the different like races and things in the D&D universe that you could be, and I was like, I don't know. It's like, fine, I'll just choose this. Like, I don't know. It just never panned out. My sister's actually... Oh, shit. Oh, okay. My sister's actually tried to get me into... Or at least they, like, urged me to try D&D. Fuck. I had a shield. What? Seems... It's pretty simple, but it seems so intimidating. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if you tell me, hey, there are, like, 20 races here, which one do you want to be? Did I really? Okay, I didn't even see it happen. But if you hand me a list of races that are, like, just totally meaningless to me, because, like, I know nothing about the lore, I know nothing about, like, what they do in-game. Literally all I see is their name. It's like, I don't know. I'll be whatever. Shield when he gets a... Oh. Well. But yeah. No offense or anything to anyone who does play D&D. Or likes D&D. It's not like... It's not a reflection on D&D itself, it's just like, I feel like if you're gonna get someone into it, you should at least be like, hey, look, here's a character who will get you to understand what's happening, or you can at least present the characters as like, yeah, this person is good for these situations, but not for these situations. Like, just going, hey, what do you want to be, doesn't help me much, you know? I want to be a 5-armed goat. Like, what does that mean? I don't know what that does. I'll try out the shotgun. Kind of feels like so much of the game is second nature to veterans, but yeah. Well, like, if I told you, hey, I'm gonna show you this new game I made up. Oh, okay, choose a character. Here are one of 20. You would either be like, okay, I'm just gonna choose one at random, or you would be like, hey, I'm not sure what would be good. Like, what am I trying to accomplish here? You know? I don't even know. Yeah. Because, you know, from my perspective, it's like all of the... This is basically a whole new language for me. So going, hey, make a huge decision. It feels wrong right at the start. I even asked them to make me a character. I was like, I'll just play as a character like you think would be good. They were like, no, you gotta make it yourself. I don't know. Because, like, that's, to me, that's the essence of a tutorial. If you're trying to get someone into a game or like any sort of situation where it's like they'll need to figure out what they do and don't like, you either make it clear what's happening, or you give them an example so they have a reference point, you know? I feel the same way trying to yeah. Yeah, sometimes I get that way about games myself. I can't think of one off the top of my head, but, like, the first thing that came to mind was Sonic Adventure 2, but I was like, I don't know how many people I've ever, like, actually coached about Adventure 2. To be clear, Sonic Adventure 2, for anyone who... I don't remember if I said Sonic, but... But yeah, to me, that game is so second nature, it's hard to watch other people play. You know, I still need to finish SA2, but I felt bad I couldn't... Yeah, no, it's okay. Honestly, just the fact that you play it makes me happy. Because I adore that game. Last stream didn't go... Oh, did it really? I don't remember now, I'm sorry. See, I have... You know, Groovy was talking about this when he was streaming, where it's like, I get it. I have bad opinions, okay? I do. But, like... There are some things, like Sonic, it is so hard for me to watch other people play Sonic games, because, like, it's, like, so ingrained in me that it's, like, it's tough to watch someone struggle with something, you know? Right there, I got brutalized by the oh, King Boom Boo. Oh, boy. First Tails space level. Oh, really? Yeah. I can imagine. I would have remembered. Yeah, no, of course, but I just, I feel bad. Honestly, making it to streams is very difficult for me. And I don't want to get too into it or anything, but just... I've been having a lot of nightmares lately. That's all really affected my sleep schedule. But I think it is because I'm just under a lot of, like, stress from different things, so... I haven't been able to make it to many streams, is the point. I feel bad because it's not like I don't want to be there, it's that I already struggle with live streaming in general. I don't know, maybe it's just how I was raised or whatever, but it's harder for me to sit at a live stream than a YouTube video. I think part of it might at least be that, like, you know, when you're there in a stream, you're expected to, like, chat and stuff, and I don't know. That's a lot for me. Not sure if I want to have a schedule for streams. I don't really schedule for real life either. I'm very much a, like, schedule person, believe it or not. Like, you know, things will happen, but, like, in general, I always try and have some sort of plan. So... you know, like, I'm fine with having a stream schedule, but I meant, like, in terms of attending to, because, like, I actually have a lot of friends who stream, and it's like, I want to be there for all of them, but also, before I started streaming, I just didn't use streaming as entertainment at all, so it's just a very weird grinding of gears for me personally. But yeah, part of the reason, well, I mean, I developed a stream schedule because, like, I also wanted to take it somewhat seriously. Not that I thought I would be some big streamer or whatever, but just, you know, I wanted to show that, like, hey, I'm not just some, you know, some guy who thinks that, like, oh, just because I play video games, like, I'll get tons of people who love me. Like, I wanted to show that, like, hey, look, I'm treating it with respect. Can you start with 4 days a week? I mean, the schedule that I have currently has pretty much always been my schedule. Like, when I really first started streaming, I didn't have a set schedule at all. But you know, it was clear early on that it was like, it's a good idea to have a schedule so people know when to show up. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it every other day since, you know, I'm going to school, so, like, I'm not available every day, but, like, I want to do it decently often because I'm having fun, and, and it's crazy, the difference between, like, somebody who can do streaming for, like, a living. It's like, sometimes they'll just do 12-hour streams, like, every day. And it's like, man, my streams are only like a couple of hours every other day, and sometimes I'm like, God, that I am streaming so much. My endurance can be low sometimes. To be fair, I did always want to be a YouTuber before streamer, so, like, I hadn't mentally prepared myself like I had, you know, or like I could. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking too much about this. But I've always said, I want to be someone worthy of supporting, you know? It's not about, like... I mean, I have also said that, like, I want to reach a point where I get free games, but, like, that's just... it's just me being me, you know? But, like, in general, I just want to be someone where it's like, hey, I enjoy that person's company and I want to be around them. Like, that's what I want. You know, sometimes I look at other big streamers and I go like, man, that would be so much fun to do. And then I remember that, like, if I had to maintain a huge crowd all at once, my brain would probably explode. I mean, like, I can maybe handle it once or twice. Like, if a big person raided me, I could probably handle it for the day or whatever, but having to do it on a consistent basis, I think my brain would just melt. Something I find interesting, on the outside, it looks like social media stars just get there by pure luck, but often upload constantly, stream constantly. Yeah, it's a very weird ecosystem, because there are plenty of people who stream extremely inconsistently and, like, don't have a, you know, constant upload schedule or whatever, and yet they're still super popular. Like, actually, I was just watching, because Nakey Jakey uploaded a new video, and I like Nakey Jakey's videos, and I was like, this guy uploads maybe, like, once a year, twice a year at that. It's wild to me to think that, like, how is it that that type of person can be successful? That's, like, what everyone says not to do, you know? To be honest with you, I think it's I mean, it's a fact, it's a part of, you know, like a lot of things factor into it. That's what I was trying to say. But, like, on some level, I really do think it is just luck. Like, not to dismiss the work creators put in, but just on some level, I feel like you could do some of the best, you know, videos, best streams, best whatever, and, like, just nobody will find you, just because the algorithm just kind of was like, I don't feel like it. And it's like, and you know, you'll see, like, other people who do such dog water stuff, and they get millions of views because just the algorithm was like, oh, I really like this guy, you know? I actually wanted to make a video about this, but, like, there's a content creator who I don't want to name, because, like, I'm not trying to start something, but, he's extremely popular to the point where it's like, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, what's the appeal? He lives in a garbage pile, literally like a landfill. And like, every time I hear them in, like, chatter, it's always negative. It's like, how does that person become successful? There are so many cool people out there that I think deserve success more than them, but they just didn't get it, you know? And I'm not saying that it's pure luck, you know, like you shouldn't even try. I do think there's an amount of, you know, like, you need to have the videos or the entertainment value or whatever to back up whatever luck you get. This is a very funny set of malfunctions. Overload is disabled, but if I do overload, I'll take damage. So basically, it's just never going to be a problem. And the video Nakey Jakey uploaded recently was about his journey playing Counter-Strike 2, and it's really fascinating because I understand a lot of what he is, like, experiencing. I don't play a lot of Counter-Strike, more so Team Fortress, but, like, a lot of it still applies. Obviously not the quite competitive aspect, but... Damage. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah, I hate it too, but I don't have to worry about it because it doesn't happen. Overload is just disabled. So I can't take damage. Yeah, Counter-Strike... God. Counter-Strike and Team Fortress are like... They're such amazing games, and they're also constant reminders of why Valve leaves me so conflicted nowadays. Oh, there was no floor there. There's no road here. I don't want to fight this thing. Ugh, I jumped. I pressed the jump button. I promise you. Did you ever hear how Mark regrets? So sort of. I know he leaked it out of frustration, but I don't understand why he would feel regret about it. Is it because Valve took the story in a different direction? Because if so, I disagree with his remorse. Honestly, I remember the day he leaked it. What a monumental day that was. It causes... Oh, really? I mean, I can understand feeling remorseful about that. More so, though, I'm glad he did, because I think... Because, like, if you watch the Half-Life 2 documentary they did for the anniversary, like, it's so frustrating to hear Gabe be like, nobody would want us to do, like, the same thing but just continue the story. And I was like, that is exactly what we want. We literally just want closure. Like, yes, I get it. Half-Life traditionally has been, like, a technological innovator. But, like, I think fans deserve at least some sort of, like, hey, this is where the state of the world is, not just this cliffhanger at the end of episode 2 that goes unresolved for the rest of time. Ooh. That's cool. I actually want that. But I think it was good of him to release some of the details, because also, even if Valve was like, oh, well, you know, how are we supposed to make the episode now that the plot was leaked? It's like, I still want to see that, like, done. Even if you didn't change a thing about the script, it would still be an awesome experience to just go through. You know? No, I don't have a key. I understand this justification that people would be mad if the game isn't perfect, but I'm skeptical that the real. Yeah, I have to wonder about it too, cause surely somebody at Valve had to have said to Gabe at least once before, like, at this point fans won't care. Like, really. I understand wanting to give them the best experience, but, like, it doesn't need to, like, show some sort of huge technological innovation. It just needs to come out. Like, I don't know. And with the way they've made Half-Life Alyx work so that way, like, that ending can't even work anyway. It's like, well, now there's literally nothing that's ruined it, because now we don't know where the story's going. It does make me wonder if Valve actually has a plan, or if they just made those changes to be like, oh, where's the plot going? Who knows? Ow. What? I couldn't even see what move he was doing. I like how Rare doesn't want to do it. Yeah, well, also their excuse was like nobody really wants it anymore. Like it's BS because obviously people do. It's just that, you know, in their minds it's like, yeah, they say that, but they don't, you know. Pretend has the first right for yeah. It makes me wonder how much Sea of Thieves was really Rare's idea. Like, I know they had some history with, like, piratey stuff, but, like, making it the kind of game that it is, I wonder if Microsoft stepped in and was like, hey, big live servicey games are popular, make it a live service. I mean, it did eventually work, but just... I always got the impression that Sea of Thieves was not the game they really wanted to make. But that is very much just my speculation, I want to be clear. If there's someone who works at Rare who wants to be like, no, we really did envision everything, like, you know, I'd be happy to defer to them. I'm just personally skeptical. That's what I'd say. Could theorize that MS was into pushing Rare in that direction because they did a bad job marketing a lot. Yeah. Yeah, honestly though, I thought... Okay, so, like, there's the whole thing where it's like Rare was forced to work on a bunch of Kinect games, and we all know how those turned out. And it's like, I don't think Microsoft then backed off. To me, Sea of Thieves was them pushing Rare, but just in a slightly different direction. You know? Like, instead of experiences that'll appeal to gamers who like movement controls. Like, it's an experience that'll appeal to like what's popular right now, which is live service, you know? To me, it still very much felt like they were still going, hey, Rare, you're gonna make this game because that's what we want, and not what you actually want to do. Or, like, it could be that they had, like, a prototype of some sort of pirate game, and Microsoft just went like, yeah, just make that into a live service. Because if I remember, it had a rough launch. It took a while for people to really start getting into it. It's such a weird world we live in where games can turn themselves around. Because I remember Sea of Thieves having a pretty rocky start, but like now it had a turnaround of some kind. And like that's been more and more common with games lately, where it's like, yeah, its start sucked, but like then they fixed it, so everything's fine now. Like, it's a weird mentality, and it's something that like I don't know how to feel, if that makes any sense. Like, on the one hand, I've always been a believer that, like, a game should have enough at launch, you know? Like, if you're gonna ask people to pay full price for a game, you should be giving them a full game. But it's like, I do appreciate that, you know, we've reached a point where it's like you don't have to just give up on a game if it doesn't do financially well in the first month or whatever. Like, it can still turn itself around. But, like, even if it does turn itself around, I still have a very strange feeling. And I think it's because, like, if a game turns itself around, great, but you still burned a lot of people to get there, you know? Where it's like, I know there are people who liked the original version of No Man's Sky, but there were a lot of people who didn't, and it's frustrating to me that it's like, yes, I'm glad it's fixed itself now, but like, what about all those people who did support it at launch and then just like got hurt through the process? Like, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm too preachy or whatever, but it just feels unfair. And it also feels like it's a bad idea for the industry in general. I don't know how to describe this very well, but it just feels like you have to commit to whatever game, even if like you weren't invested in it. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm communicating this well, but like, okay, as an example, right, Sea of Thieves. If Sea of Thieves was not a game Rare was all that interested in making, like, and then it came out and it got kind of meh reviews, I feel like if we weren't in a world where games could be turned around, it would just be like, okay, well, on to the next thing, and then they would focus on a game that they did want to make, whereas instead they're being forced to, like, salvage something they didn't like, you know? And again, that's presuming things, but I don't really have a solution for it. Every time it happens, people complain a lot, the game gets fixed, sells a lot, and nothing ever changes. Yeah. I mean, it certainly incentivizes people not to buy at launch, which is to me, like, you would think that's what the industry doesn't want to give, you know, people the habit of. Because, like, if you look at every game and go, yeah, but it's gonna launch in a bad state, and then they're gonna turn it around and have massive sales on it anyway, like, why would you ever buy a game at launch? You're paying more for a worse game that's gonna take a long time to even get to a place where you'll like it. You know? Feel kind of Scarlet and Violet, but it's on track. Yeah, yeah. I was reading a thread because I'm a member of Reset Era, which I mostly just lurk. I don't participate in discussions much because, like, I don't know, I'm not that type of person, but I do like looking at the discussion. And there was a thread recently about, like, isn't it funny how Nintendo is so loved outside of the gaming sphere? And I was like, is that even... I mean, and a lot of people were going like, well, I mean, that's basically the case for all companies, like, outside of the people who are dedicated enough to know better, like, you know, people can be on board with a lot of things. And it is funny to think about that, like, whatever you think of Scarlet and Violet, like, it ultimately doesn't, like, matter that much. I mean, obviously, there is still some power you have in being like, hey, I don't like how this game turned out. But, like, if you go out on the street corner and go, I hate Scarlet and Violet, like, who cares? Like, nobody's gonna nobody's gonna stop buying it. It's kind of like a Yahtzee. He did a review of, I think it was Broken Age, and he was saying how, like, it's kind of worrying as a critic to see games successful before they even release, because, you know, because that means, like, if a game is bad, you can't even really get the word out because people have already bought the game. And then he said, like, but it's also freeing because he can say whatever he wants to without fear of you know, harming anyone. And he was like, hey, Broken Age is a game about, you know, brine shrimp parasite thing flowing up a stream of urine. It's not really, but you don't care because you already bought it. Like, and it's an interesting thought. Where it's like, I don't know. I guess I'm just rambling at this point, but like, it is sometimes worth remembering that, you know, as passionate as gamers are, and as many gamers as there are, we are still very much, you know, the minority when it comes to, like, sales and things. Obviously, I do think gamers still have, like, an important role in terms of, like, spreading awareness and things, but fuck. Oh. Okay. No, no. Oh. No. Stop this. No! Oh, I thought I died. I thought I was dead. Of course, I can't complain much about it. I'm buying a Switch 2 at launch. Yeah, I mean, same. That's the thing. Like, you know, I do very much believe in, like, voting with your wallet, but, you know, there is, you know, actions speak louder than words. Really, truly. I feel like people have forgotten that lately. But it's like, really, you can say you're opposed to something all you want, but if you're buying it, you're clearly not that opposed to it. Like, you're clearly supporting it. You know? Argue I'm helping by rewarding traffic. Yeah. I mean, it's complicated because you're sending a bunch of different messages at once. I do think sometimes people... How do I put this? People, like, will go, vote with your wallets, and then other people will come by and be like, look how well this sold, clearly you didn't. And it's like, there is some amount of, what's the word I'm looking for? False equivalence? False logic? Where it's like, they didn't buy it, they did vote with their wallet, but other people didn't, you know? I'm sorry, is this stream becoming too ranty? Am I just... Am I being annoying? I don't know. Okay, well, at least I didn't get a malfunction. Junction. You know, I never actually watched any of those, Schoolhouse Rock videos or whatever. Just kind of know them through osmosis. Cultural osmosis. Ah! Okay, I think I have things under control now. Kind of. Maybe. I'm gonna say maybe. Okay. I love Schoolhouse Rock. I love the math ones. Apparently a lot of them weren't shown much on TV because they're too hard for kids to understand, really. I just never saw them. I was always under the impression they were played at, like, schools. Like, the teacher would wheel out the TV on the, like, little cart thing. Like a VHS player. That was very common around. I don't know if kids know that experience nowadays, but... yeah, when when the teacher busted out that CRT, you knew you were in for some very weird videos. There's the one on base 12. Oh god, sorry, hold on. Base 12. There was a base. Wow. It's a whole world that just passed me by. I just never encountered any of it, so I didn't even know they taught about stuff like that. I feel like that teaching kids about base 12 might be a little more complicated than than like how a bill gets turned into a law, you know? Catchy song. Catchy ghost. Was half about base 12 and half about times... oh, okay. Well, that does make things a little more understandable. I like that the translocation sphere won't actually work while I'm in the place I got it. Oh god. Oh, I don't want this. Ah! Oh, wait. No! Oh, I was gonna be so happy for a second. Now I'm sad. Ow. Well, that was not worth it. Still, I really... there are a lot of things from my childhood that, I really kind of didn't give too much thought, you know? What about multiplying by 9, though? I can't forget them. Really? Again, I've never seen any of them, so I didn't know they did such things. '70s kids for being too dumb. Yeah, it is weird how much harder things have gotten. Like, we're teaching our kids so much more than we had to learn as kids. You know what I mean? Like, kids nowadays are getting, like, coding classes, and I was like, God, my high school wouldn't offer that. The only classes I had that were technology related when I was young was a typing class. I think it was dumb that my high school didn't offer a CS class. Oh, really? See, I went to high school from like 2008 to 2012, so I can understand some things. Does that even happen? I don't know. You know, maybe this is just my brain, but when you said CS, my brain was like a Counter-Strike class? Can you imagine? Alright, kids. For home, I want you to hit 20 headshots. And be sure to plant the bomb at B. How many kids? Be sure the CTs don't see you. First semester's... Yes. Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Alright, good clutch by Billy. You get a gold star. But Jimmy, what was that smoke bomb? What were you thinking? No, you're getting an F, and we'll need to do some extra grind sessions after class. So dumb. Alright, kids, today we're gonna learn about bee hopping. Jimmy, are you using the free-to-play knife skins? No, Mrs. No, Mrs. Wilson. I promise I bought the latest crate. All right. But I need to see at least 5 keys on your account by Monday. Oh, come on, Mrs. Wilson. There was a bit in Monty Python, in The Meaning of Life, the third movie they did, and it's this scene at like a school, and they're all, you know, like all the kids are sitting there patiently at their desks, they're, you know, looking forward, whatever, and then one of the kids runs in and goes like, you know, the teacher, he's almost here, and then they all start like throwing stuff and going crazy. That's kind of what I imagine CS class to be like. Like, Mrs. Wilson is almost here. Okay, I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna headshot this person. Yeah. Digital art class, but it was kind of a blow-off class. Oh, really? My high school had decent digital art classes. It's where I learned the 3D model. However, limited the understanding was. Because I learned in Autodesk Maya, and And, like, it was long enough ago that my... Because I learned in, like, Maya 2011 or whatever. So, a lot has changed. But yeah, we also had, like, Photoshop and Illustrator classes. And those were cool. But, Kelsey! Ah, thank you for the tier 1, Kelsey. Ah, I appreciate it. Hi, how are you? Bish. Kelsey, thank you. You are precious and wonderful. How are you? You know, honestly, I've been really wanting to get back into 3D modeling, but I'm at a skill set where, like, I feel like I don't really need the beginner tutorials, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like a lot of the beginner tutorials are like, here's a polygon, here's how to make a box, and it's like, I know how to do that stuff. I need more, like, you know, tips on, like, what makes a model good or bad, you know? Like, I don't need someone to explain to me what, you know, what mesh is. I need them to explain to me how to, like, make it all seamless, you know? But also, I am still learning Blender, which has gotten a lot better since I first tried it. When I tried it in high school, it was confusing as hell. Kelsey, you're precious. I'm so happy to see you. How are things? I hope you're not up too late, because you should get sleep. You should get the sleepies. Beef was sleeping earlier, and it was very cute. TFYU. Hey, listening to you. That's fine. Rudy is sleeping. Oh, what a sweet. I had a genuinely synthetic visit recently, and it is still so funny to me because he's mildly allergic to cats. It's so funny to me how much Beef loves him. Just loves Will. Of course the cat wants to be with the allergic person. Yeah. I've read that it's because like cats like their personal space, so you know, people who are allergic are generally trying to avoid them, and they take it as a sign of like, oh, this person is respecting my boundaries, cool. Like, that's a person I want to be near. You know, as opposed to somebody who's like, oh, kitten, and like gets up in their face when they don't want it. Okay, I at least made it to the 3rd phase, so... Oh, what? I thought I overloaded. No, no, I thought I would... Oh, I'm doing it, but I think I'm cooked. I think I'm as cooked as a human being can be. That's very cooked. Very... Like, put a thermometer in me. Because, like, I'm just as good as dead here. No! Oh! Oh, so close. My kittens love being cuddled with, though. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, like... True, but there are a lot of cats who like, need their personal space. Don't like it when somebody gets too much with them. Guess who woke up from a 3-hour nap? Oh, heck. Hi, Pixel, it's good to see you. You're precious. R.I.P. so cool. I know. I know, I know I can do it. I can do it, I just need the health. I need the health and, like, the weapon to output enough damage. Also, I need to remember to use my alt fire on Frike more. I love doing that. They think they caught me, but actually I was just using them. More yeah, yeah, a few tips I would welcome. The thing is, I don't want to be, like, guided too much right now, because I still feel like I'm at the phase in the game where it's like, if I can figure this out, that's when the game will really, like, unlock, you know? So, like, I don't want too much of a, like, oh, here's the best thing to do, and then it's like, oh, you know? My tip kick, good. Yeah, you're right. Tips, what a bad game. Well, I mean, I'm okay with monetary tips. No, I'm just kidding. I talked about this last stream too. It's just been on my mind where it's like, you know those people who tip with those, like, church dollars that aren't real money? Fuck those people. You can always get a large... Yeah, yeah. But I don't always have the Ooblights for it. Because, like, I'm so focused on trying to get upgrades. I would always get it before Frike. You know, I really should. You're right, I'll try and focus on getting that before Frike. Also, in case anyone didn't know this, Pixel is an extremely precious being, so you should definitely give them hugs. Frike is just so getting to me, you know? You're precious, you mean, yes. Also, I don't expect them to or anything, but it is also Platinum's and Music's birthdays today, so if you see them, wish them a happy birthday. And I think there was another server I was in where it's like, it's someone else's birthday. There's so many birthdays going on today. What is happening? Ow. So, well, you are, so that's all there is to it, frankly. Hold L1 and then use R to select the target menu. It's interesting. No, you could target ground surge. Oh, really? Yeah, apparently you can. So then you must be too. I'm pretty sure it's just you. I mean, Kelsey has been saying I'm not, so I think I'll trust Kelsey on this one. This game's very pretty. I don't know if I've said that enough. I do really like the look of this game. It's very foresty, ruined, but like with enough sci-fi elements. It's just all very pretty. Oh, I was not happy he showed up, but I'm glad he's gone. Hate seeing you here, or hate seeing you leave, love watching you walk away, or something like that. I forget the stupid quote. No, you are Pixel. That's what I'm saying. Noises these things make are so gross. Increases nah, I don't like malignancy stuff. Okay, I can perform 3 melee kills. That's easy. Yeah. You are. I could make a poll if you want. Prove it. Oh, I'm okay. You know what? Perfect. Give me my melee kills. Okay, that's 1. 2, 3. There we go. And a 4th for good measure. Thing that polls can be wrong. I commend your humor. And I hate that you're right. Did I tell everyone that I beat I 100%ed Skywalker Saga? Which, I don't know, I still just have no idea what compelled me to do it, but I did it. That was not worth it. Gonna be honest. Okay, I have to remember to come back here. Wait, enemies? Enemies? It really is weird how few ooblights are dropped by enemies. I feel like most of the ooblights don't actually come from them. Although I'm sure that's not correct. It just doesn't feel that way, you know? Wait, hold on. 2 tangos. Taking them down. Can't aim for the life of me. You know, sometimes I wonder if, like, if I were to go to a real-life firing range, how accurate I would be. Because part of me wants to think I would be terrible. and part of me thinks that, like, maybe I would do well. I don't know. I've lined up enough targets in my video game sites. Surely real life couldn't be, you know, that much more complicated. But also because I have shaky hands. It would be very difficult for me. That's water. The most deadly substance in the universe. Did you know that 100% of things that drink water eventually die? Isn't that crazy? Oh, there's a healing tower. That's... Why didn't I notice that earlier? Yeah, okay. That was my bad. That was very much my bad. My B. Does it matter that it gives us a different, like, cutscene every so often? Because sometimes it's like you have to exit the ship, and sometimes she's just already out of the ship. Does that matter? Is that really an important detail? You don't have to say why, but I just want to know if it is. Because I would find it weird they would bother to mix up what animation plays if it didn't have a point, you know? I saw a fascinating video of a guy who he made a video about, like, because essentially his wife had never really, I mean, she watched him play video games sometimes, but, like, was never really much of a gamer, so he did, like, an experiment on her to, like, see how she would do with video games and, like, how good video games are at, like, communicating themselves. It was really interesting because there's a lot of stuff, you know, gamers take for granted when it comes to knowing what to do. Because I was thinking to myself, like, the only reason I would bother to notice that the animation is different and think that that has any sort of significance is because I feel like the developers wouldn't bother putting in that work if it wasn't for something. But it's like, I'm sure to any, you know, normal person playing, like, they wouldn't think twice about that sort of thing. Even if they had the thought of, like, hey, these animations are different from time to time, like, I don't think they would necessarily go, well, these must be here for a reason. Like, just funny how different the experience is when you do and don't know how video games, you know, speak, what their language is. It is also interesting to see what games people don't like do and don't respond to when they're given like no, what's the word I'm looking for? Like hints or anything. Like you just give them the game and let them do their thing. Dega, hey! I got close, but I have not yet. How are you doing, Dega? It's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. You know what? I'm gonna make you a VIP. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Honestly, I kind of thought you were already, but you deserve it. There we go. VIP. I just did some gardening. Oh, nice. Yeah, well, I appreciate that you've been coming by my streams, and also that you gave me a big donation and all that. I really appreciate it, and I should have done it earlier, to be honest with you, but thank you. But how was gardening? What do you have in your garden? Oh, and also, Dega, to answer the message for the donut, the pizza was delicious. Thank you. We just got some yellow curry from... Oh, wow. So spicy. Yeah, I can handle a decent amount of spice, but not like I have a friend who's I don't remember what his exact heritage is, but like he comes from a place where like everyone's kind of like a spice hound. And so like there are places I remember taking him to a restaurant. It was Clyde's Hot Chicken, and he asked if there was like a secret level, and there was. It was only a 5 out of 10. Oh my. He asked if there was like a secret spice level they had, and there was, and they made him sign a waiver for it. And he ate it. Shh. He ate it, and as he was eating it, he was sweating. Like his body was like genuinely sweating, but he was like, it's really not that spicy. What do you mean? You are literally having a reaction right now. I'm not that level. But I do like hot chicken. Love spice like that? Oh, really? Yeah, see, I'm not capable of that. Although I guess I haven't really tried recently, but like... You know, I think the fact that Clyde's is still decently spicy to me is enough to be like, I probably couldn't handle whatever, like, spice. I'm in the middle. It's only recently that I was able to enjoy spice. Sensory issues made it very difficult to deal with as a kid, but you know, I've adjusted. I've grown, so... Excuse me for the yawn. Yeah, I've been having crazy nightmares lately. So I apologize if I'm just really out of it. I went to my bro's birthday party last night, and yeah, let's do 3 hot ones, truth or dab. First 2 hot sauces weren't too bad. I tapped out at the third of 4. Hey, I mean, that's still pretty good. I've never actually done any sort of, like, hot ones challenge or anything, or, like, one-chip challenge. Your question, put in another rose, and we planted a clematis. Oh, that's awesome. I have a little garden here that my dad uses to grow tomatoes, and it used to be fun. It's not anymore, because as it turns out, crop rotation exists for a reason. I would have straight up refused. Hey, I mean, I applaud your effort, because I probably would have hesitated. Yeah, roses are, have you ever seen those rose trees that people do? I learned about this, but, like, there was a video where it's like, you can graft roses onto, like, a tree stump, and the rose essentially, like, fuses with the tree. It's so weird, but it's cool. It's cool that you can do that. I don't know if it's considered, like, ethical, but it's cool that you can do it. And, like, the video that I learned that from, it showed, like, a garden, and it had, like, all the rose trees behind it, and I was like, that seems like something out of, like, a fairy tale or whatever. Interesting. I've heard of fruit salad trees or the graft genetically some fruit. Yeah. I should, if I can find it, I can send you the video. But it was interesting. It's like a tree stump, and then they have the, like, root of the roses, like, kind of jammed into the edges of the tree, and they, like, put cellophane around it or whatever, and then eventually just the rose takes over and is like, this root system is mine now. I really just 4. I used to have a ton of roses when I was young. My excuse to not help with the veggie card. Well, every thorn has its rose. So rarely orange and lemon will combine into chimeras that can produce a fruit that is half lemon and half orange. That is weird. Lamorange. Or Orman? I don't know how you'd say that, but I mean, it sounds weird, but I believe you. Little did Shadow know that was his first mistake. I'm just kidding. Oh, I thought there was... Okay. Ow. Bizarria. Okay, I'll have to look that up too. I guess I'm gonna be doing a lot of looking up stuff after stream, because I do want to show you the, like, rose tree video I saw. Really cool. It also makes me wonder, because, like, if in nature there's something, I don't know, genetically or whatever, that lets a plant overtake another plant, like, do you think that could be found in humans or whatever? Like, do you think there could be some way of, like, training a serum or whatever to, like, find cancer cells and, like, overtake them? That would be really cool. I don't know if that's possible, but... You ever seen those cats? Yes! Yeah, I do know that those are because of, like, two different cat, like, embryos or whatever that, like, fused together. Or, like, zygotes. They're so cute. Those are chimeras, too. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna try Overload Rush. Found out that crabapple trees are great at integrating other plants. We have 2 by us with 1/3 of them cherry blossoms. Really? That's cool. How did they get the cherry blossoms? Don't cherry blossoms only live in, like, very specific regions? Yeah, there was no way I was gonna win that. See, like this. Like, sometimes this whole sequence plays, and sometimes it doesn't. Why? Like, what is the point? Is there a point to this, or am I just overthinking it? Grafted, and no, cherries are everywhere. I guess so. Okay. I thought it had like certain climate requirements. Imagine it's just to change it up so it stops being repetitive. I guess so. It ends up kind of being more repetitive, cause like, I held skip, and then it took me to the secondary cutscene, so I had to hold skip again. If anything, that seems like it's a worse situation. Like, surely you would want the player to be able to skip it faster if it really was meaningless. Different species, yes, but I got six. Oh, ooh, that is so cool. Are you gonna chop down a cherry tree to become like a George Washington? That's just, I know, it's a fake. I just think it's a funny concept. think the sweet cherries do require chilling period. Yeah, yeah. I thought I remembered something like that. My parents actually went to Hawaii not too long ago, and they went to like a chocolate farm that was there. And on that chocolate farm, they also had vanilla. And what they learned about vanilla is that it can only be like fertilized by this one particular bee that only lives in like a different region. Like, I want to say the Philippines. They didn't remember which, but it was like either South America or like the Philippines or whatever. And like the bee is so fragile, they can't just import it from like somewhere else. So they have to do it by hand. And like the vanilla like bean thing is so precise, it can only be fertilized like it's only ready for one day. If you miss that one day, it misses its chance to fertilize. So is Paul Revere, really? I may have known about that. It does ring a bell. I just don't remember. But yeah, apparently what you have to do and what the bee normally does is there's like a membrane or something that, because the vanilla beans have male and female parts to recreate or to reproduce. So but there's like a membrane blocking them from just doing it automatically. So you're supposed to like separate it and then. Fig wasps. That sounds familiar. Oh, just a silversmith who is paid to publish a poem to make it. Oh, really? Okay. That's the thing. I was like, I thought he was a real person. It just. It just was one of those stories. Okay, also, maybe somebody can back me up on this. We were just talking about this last night. My family at dinner, we were talking about bees. Because like, that whole vanilla bean story. And, you know, the bee population in the world is going, like, down because of all sorts of tragedies happening to bees. I knew much about bees. Yeah, so there was this thing called colony collapse disorder, where like suddenly whole colonies would just like die, and they couldn't figure out why. And I was a really young kid when I heard this report, so maybe it's outdated. But when the news story was trying to like show that like, hey, there's still hope, their section said that they noticed that spraying the bees with cow urine like made them like go into overdrive or whatever and helped them stay alive. And I thought that was such a weird thing, and it stuck with me all these years. And when I brought that up, nobody in my family like remembered it. I was like, surely, and I tried to look it up online, and I couldn't find a definitive answer, because I guess not a lot of studies were done about it, so I don't know where the hell this news station got that, like, idea from. The wasp body gets fully absorbed. Wait, hold on, sorry. So figs with seeds require fig wasps to pollinate, but the wasp dies inside the fig after pollinating it, so that's why people... Oh! Okay, however, the wasp body gets fully absorbed long before it's harvested. Yeah. And most figs you can buy here are seedless and don't need wasp pollen. Oh, okay, yeah. Not the bees! Not the bees! But yeah, like, when I looked up to see if I could find that story again, I couldn't find it. There were some... You know, Google did the thing where it was like... it either found stories of, like, what's the cause of colony collapse disorder? Or, is it safe to drink cow urine? And I was like, no, was there a report that, like, cow urine boosted bees' like immune systems or whatever? Hasn't anyone heard of this before? I feel insane saying it. I don't remember it. I do know a lot of the problems were just mites. It's because the commercial bees had weaker immune systems. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's why I thought it was so interesting that cow urine, of all things, was supposedly boosting their immune system. Because I was like, who would think that? How did anyone discover that? Was it folk medicine in India? Yeah. Like I did see some articles about, like, oh, there are some weird benefits to cow urine, but, like, in terms of it relating to colony collapse disorder, I didn't see anything about, and that's frustrating for me because I was like, I know, it must have been, like, my local news station or something. They did a story about it and then went, hey, this could possibly be the cure. Lack of nutrition due to single plant pollen. Yes, that too. Found a few things by looking up cow urine bees. They're really long, so I'm not actually reading them. But are there specifically articles? Because I'll read it myself if I have to, but, like, articles that specifically say there's some sort of correlation between spraying bees with cow urine and like colony collapse disorder being, like, warded off. Because I swear I was so fascinated by it, because I was like, the sequence that it would take to actually find out that that's a thing, where it's like cow urine must have somehow gotten on the bees, and then the person must have, like, been like, wow, the bees are doing a lot better. It's like, how would you know that it was the cow urine? Like, it's just so many things. About it helping against mites. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, Google's AI is notoriously untrustworthy, but I feel like when I search it, it only ever comes up with, like, things that I don't mean. Like, I don't care if people think drinking cow urine is, like, a good luck charm or whatever. I want to know how it relates to colony collapse disorder. But it's so stuck with me through all these years. And it's like, I really should try and find... Because also the news didn't have, like, the University of whatever said this. It was just, like, a theory that they presented. You know? They were just like, hey, it turns out this could be helping. And they had, like, a video of a guy with, like, a hose, and he's, like, spraying cow urine on the beehives. It is an antiseptic. Ah, okay. That is interesting. Somehow, I feel like Groovy's gonna enter. He's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck are we talking about? Groovy, you're gonna save the bees, Groovy! Groovy, do it! Right now! I feel like that's like a Rick and Morty thing, where it's like, Groovy, you have to save the bees! Do it! Do it now! Oh, I don't know about this. I've never watched Rick and Morty, actually, so I probably shouldn't even say that, but... nothing personally against Rick and Morty. I mean, I heard the creator's a douche. Although that honestly doesn't even surprise me, because I heard Rick and Morty was created purely to try and troll Warner Brothers, like, lawyers. And I was like, anybody who does that I don't know. Gives me a bad feeling. My favorite jokes from The Simpsons come from the CCD episode where we're eating bee drones. He says we're diploid organisms. Well, they are just halfway. I don't think I've seen that, to tell you the truth. I actually watched a fair amount of Simpsons when I was young, because you know, it was like a family tradition. We'd watch AFV and then we'd switch over to The Simpsons. Which is, you know, in retrospect, a little bit weird, but honestly, I enjoyed The Simpsons. There was a colony collapse disorder episode, and it's one of the best. Oh, really? I didn't know they. I didn't know they did an episode like that. Crazy. When I went to Universal Studios Hollywood, aside from the Super Nintendo world, my favorite place to go to probably was the Simpsons Land, or whatever. Which is still funny to me, because now that Simpsons is a Disney property, you'd think it would be at Disneyland. Get a flaming Moe? No. I did, however, very, very generous gift, get a, it was a big three-eye fish plush, which, if you remember the three-eye fish from, like, the previous episodes, I thought I was adorable. That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah. There were some really cool things. They also had, like, donut plushes, which were also very cute. They even had, like, you know, the Simpsons donut, like, as an edible donut. And I believe it had an insane amount of calories, but I mean, of course it did. Not that I expect a donut to be healthy, but... Are you kidding me? As soon as I get the next adrenaline level, I instantly run into the first orb I see. It's so funny to me how, like, The Simpsons is such a weird series, because I see so many people, like, just absolutely going, like, Simpsons isn't funny and it needed to end 20 seasons ago. And then there are people who, like, you know, like, reference The Simpsons every every chance they get. It's just so funny to me. Like, I watch Matt McMuscles, and Matt McMuscles makes a lot of Simpsons references. And it's just funny to me. Just the dramatic difference in how people talk about it. Some people say the show's making a comeback. Is it really? Maybe it's copium. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible, too. Ah! There was also a Simpsons SpongeBob season 11. Oh, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess I can see it. You know, I don't like to be, like, smug about it, but I very much am one of those, like, SpongeBob stopped being good after, like, the 3rd season. There are some moments that are okay, but, like, you know. Do you like how Bubble Bass is oh, yeah. I had been seeing that. That's just weird for me. I don't know. To me, it gives a very cynical vibe. You know what I mean? Where it's like, hey, we can't come up with any characters that people will like, so, like, let's just bring back a character we already know they like. You know? And that could be just be me being very jaded, but that's just how it feels. Kind of like, did you see the SpongeBob meme figures they did? It really it just felt like they were just trying to be like, hey, remember this? And I don't know. I think that can be done well, but it was not for SpongeBob. Okay, I think this is going to be my last run, depending on how long it is. Oh, I messed up. Or did I? I didn't. I didn't mess up. It's sure something nowadays, yeah. It's such a shame. I assume you've heard of the like documentary series they did about all the different sexual abuse allegations that Nickelodeon had, or at least like of certain shows in the 90s. It makes me so sad because, like, I used to really love those shows, but seeing all the people involved that I cared about, like, talking about how horrible it was, it just makes me so sad. Yeah. And, like, looking back at it, definitely, you can definitely see a lot of what they were saying. Because, like, literally in the Amanda show, if you remember Amanda Bynes, there was, like, a recurring character, or, like, a joke character, who, he, like, loved pickles, and there was, like, one point where he was putting a pickle through what looked like a glory hole, and it's just like, what are you doing, man? Like, I mean, I guess I didn't notice it as a kid, so, like, it didn't harm me specifically, but I can definitely understand why actors would be uncomfortable doing that. You know what I mean? I feel like I say "you know what I mean" a lot. It's just, I feel like I can't get out the words properly. Like, I'm trying to convey a specific thought, and I just can't formulate it correctly. Because, yeah, I was a Nick kid when I was young. Took a while before my TV plan even included Cartoon Network. Which, to be clear, I liked Cartoon Network too, just... I didn't watch a whole lot of... Or, I didn't watch it in the same way I watched Nick. And, like, seeing Drake in particular, Drake Bell, talk about his experience, oh man, that was just, like, gut-wrenching for me. You know what? That I don't mind that. Oh, that sucks actually. Okay. Never mind. That was not worth doing. Oh, I feel bad. Oh, that was such a stupid thing to do. I should have considered it more. So they don't really... Other than SpongeBob, Ren and Stimpy. I watched basically all of the Nick cartoons. Like, I used to like the Angry Beavers, and like, Cat Dog I watched a lot of. I remember they used to think Cat Dog was, like, gonna be their big hit. And it ended up, getting vastly overshadowed by SpongeBob. Did you ever watch Cat Scratch? I want to say yes, but I genuinely can't think of what it is at the moment. There were a lot of shows I watched. You know, when I raided Phoenix a while back now, I guess, Phoenix was just talking about... They were looking at the show But Ugly Martians, and... Oh, it made me so sad to hear all the people be like, wow, this show's slightly older than me. I was like, no, I remember when that show was new. Don't do this to me. I'm not ready to be old. Of these cats dies and the cats inherit the money. I don't think I have. I know what beef would do with a lot of money. Spend it all on treats. And things to bite. A little bit of it recently, and it's funny. I'm surprised it flew under the radar. Yeah, there are some shows that, like, back in the day didn't get, you know, reviewed particularly well. But, like, it's kind of the same thing, honestly, with games. Like, have you ever gone and played a game that people were like, it kind of sucks, and then you play it and you're like, this is fun, what are you talking about? I'm kind of experiencing that with Sleeping Dogs. I just recently started replaying it, because I played a decent amount, but I never finished it. Honestly, the whole reason I got Sleeping Dogs at all was because they had a promotion with Team Fortress 2 where they added a bunch of, like, cosmetics and items and things. Or, actually, it was not so much weapons, it was just cosmetics, and I believe the map Koth King. It's made by Tenapple, who I don't like, but he's a good animator at least. Oh, really? What do you not like about him? I don't think I've heard the name before, so... Ooh, a translocation sphere. Made Earth... Oh, yes. You know what? Yeah. I didn't realize he made TV shows as well. I did hear how he was kind of an alt-writer, which, cringe to say the least. But... made some of the most famous... Really? That's funny. I'm not a big fan of Adventure Time. It's so tough for me, because I know there are so many people who do really love it. Like, people I know and, you know, I'm friends with, like, they think it's amazing, and it's like, every time I watch it, I'm just like, I don't like this. I just really don't. And I feel bad, because I'm not trying to be an asshole, it just didn't connect with me. It's kind of ironic to imagine both Rebecca Sugar and Doug Tenapple working on the same show. I know, right? But, you know, that is the nature of most things. Like, you'll have to work with people you don't like. I remember I had a coworker who was trying to convince everyone that, like, the ancient Egyptians had, like, batteries and stuff for, you know, for all this time and whatever. It's just like, man, how does anybody live like that? Believing such wild conspiracies. And like it was covered up for thousands of years that, like, the government has better technology than we do. Risky, but I'll take it. Apparently, he only wrote one episode of Adventure Time with 4 other writers, but is considered one of the best. Oh, really? Yeah, isn't it funny how sometimes people like that, like, despite you not liking their views, like, they really do just make some of the, you know, some really great art or something. Or music or whatever. Well, I mean, music is an art, but just, you know what I mean. I wonder if I can still... No, I can't. I can still reach it. It's interesting you mentioned that, because a lot of people really hate the creator of Ren and Stimpy too. Really? I don't think I know who that is. I know the creator of Dilbert's an asshole. And it's a shame, because I used to like Dilbert, but... just one of those things where it's like, you know, there are people who always say, like, oh, separate art from artist. And it's like, sometimes you can, and sometimes for me, it's like, it's just too much. Okay, yeah, I still have more enemies to kill. John Crifalusi. He's actually the guy who started the whole CalArts. Oh, did he really? Yeah. I go back and forth on the... on it. But say Ren and Stimpy was only good in spite of him. That, yeah, is also possible. It's kind of like you know, Butch Hartman, like the whole thing about him. Because I remember when, oh gosh, this was a while back on Twitter, but he tried to, like, he took, like, a commission. I found the exact same weapon. What a joke. I didn't keep up with the... Oh, okay. Well, basically, he took a commission, and it was, like, a multi-$100 commission. And he ended up tracing just someone else's art. And then, because that was such a, like, moment, you know... people started digging up all the other stuff, and like he really is kind of a douche from what everyone was saying. Like, Fairly Odd Parents was good in spite of him rather than because of him. Although, I mean, I think that show probably has other problems going on. I haven't kept up with it in ages. But yeah, like, imagine being a famous, you know, like, artist, and you get paid a shitload of money for someone to ask you to draw, like, an anime character or whatever, and then you just trace someone else's art. Like, man. And, like, apparently it wasn't the first time he had traced either, so that was not a good look. But it's funny, right before COVID happened, I was taking a 3D animation course, and my teacher was somebody who actually worked at Nickelodeon and had, like, done a lot of, you know, like, background stuff for a bunch of different shows, and he had good things to say about Butch Hartman, so I was kind of surprised when all that drama started popping up, because then I was like, oh god, I wonder how much he knew of that. Probably not a lot if he was willing to go to bat for him. But it was interesting to hear him talk about the you know, the role of an artist, because, like, you know, he was saying how, like, there are some people who can make some truly jaw-dropping art, but, like, they struggle so much with, like, time management. They're not the types of people the studios are interested in keeping around. You know, like, they value speed over quality, so, like, if you can meet a deadline, you're more likely to stay hired. Okay. I'm not totally confident, but we'll see. I'm gonna do this. I don't feel confident enough with the shotgun. But yeah, it was interesting to hear him talk about how, like, yeah, you know, if you want to stay hired, because, like, a lot of times a studio will pay you to do a specific job, and then once that job's over, if you can't do other things, they don't bother keeping you around. So, like, you kind of need to be versed in everything to stay employed. Yeah. Because he was saying, like, if you only know how to, like, put lighting in something, sure, you know, you can do a lighting gig or whatever, but afterwards, when they get on to the next phase where it's like, okay, now we're gonna, you know, do, like, storyboarding or whatever, like, you know, they ask if you can do it, and then you say no, and then they go, like, okay, well, your services won't be needed anymore then. So it was cool to actually hear somebody with experience talk about it. But granted, I mean, I think he said he did stuff for, like, oh god, shit, Angry Beavers. So, like, his experience is a little bit old, I guess, but, you know, it's still interesting to hear. And then he also told us, like, how 3D modeling helps even if your job is traditional 2D art, because, like, you can use it as, like, reference points to help you with tough things. But then, like, he was saying, like, see, what you do is you go, like, oh man, this is gonna take ages, you know, make a big deal out of it, and then you use a 3D model, and you, like, sketch it out in, like, 5 minutes, and then you just sit on your ass for a month, and then go, man, I worked so hard on this, like, you know, it was so tough to get it this way. I think that's hilarious. and then the boss will, like, request an adjustment or something, and you give another, like, oh man, it took me so long to work on it, it's gonna take so much work to edit, and then you go back and you do it in, like, 5 minutes, and then you sit on your ass for another month. Ah! I'm using it. Fuck it. Okay. We can do this. We just gotta keep calm, keep calm. Remember the attack patterns, and we can do this. Ah! Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Don't get tilted. Don't get tilted. It's fine. This is still manageable. You can still handle this. This is still good. It's okay. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Yes! I did it! I beat... yeah, I beat Frike! Oh. Oh. On the final run, too. Thank goodness. And this is where you get the Crimson Key. Holy shit.
Acquired a new kind of
yes!
mechanism. This could interface with a different kind of translocation device.
Yeah, it could. Oh, a data cube processor. Well, I have a data cube. Oh, Beefies, are you here to congratulate me on the victory? Are you silly? Data cubed. Meows? Well, you're so meowy. What this? Oh, meow. What you meow? What you meow? He's so meows. I know. I'm my meowiest. It is a meows. It's my meowiest of kittens. This. Yeah, what a good boy. Oh. Yeah, look at him. Oh. What a sweet beefy kitten he is. Xenotech. It's oh, interesting. Do I even have parasites? Oh, yeah, but I want to keep that one. No beef. You're cute. You're sweet. What you do? It's bath time. It's bath time for beefies. What you doing? Besides being cute, what would you do? I love beef cam. I love beef. I love beef cam. Alright, here we go. We finally get to experience this room.
The only alternative.
Ooh.
I'll need to explore the other side.
What you do?
I've passed through the teleportation gate. Based on the
Whoa.
coordinates of the broadcast signal, I'm on the other side of the planet.
Cool. Very cool. Look at him. He's being so cute for the camera. He has a sixth sense for when the camera's on him. I don't know how, but he does. Unfortunately... Rudy's doing the same thing. Oh. Unfortunately, though... Oh, wait, can I not suspend? Okay, yeah, I can suspend the cycle. That will be it from me for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by, saying hi, chatting, following, subbing. I really appreciate it. I try and stream every other day, so Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific. Although Thursdays are currently impacted because of treatment, but you'll probably see a few streams on Thursday at least. Yeah, thank you for cheering me on for the Frike kill. I'm glad I got unstuck, so that's good. And I might not play this again just so I can give my honest first reactions to to stream, but like I will work on getting better at this game. So we're gonna raid someone, so if you have a suggestion, please let me know, otherwise I'm sure I can find someone. And also, if you're interested, !Discord, or there's a link in my bio. It's the best place to keep up with my streams, as well as chat with me and other cool people. And I would appreciate the join. But yeah, let's see. I don't see a whole lot of people who are live right now. Let's see. Let's do Kirk. 'Cause Kirk's nice. And Kirk's doing art and stuff. So I think that works quite well. !Raid will also send my raid message, so you can copy and paste that and spam that in the chat when we get there. And I hope you will show Kirk some love and support, because they're super cool. And yeah, that will be it from me for today. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Have a good one. I'll talk to you later. And let's go raid. Bye!